Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Samri.
And welcome to the
Chopsticks
and
and
Fork
Fork
Please
Please.
podcast. Alright, so we become a movie review podcast because
Sort
that's
of.
the easiest content to make.
Yeah, and so when I checked, or actually I didn't even check. It was like I was on my Samri Bliss channel, and the Chopsticks and Fork Please. Like I saw the views and it's like it's like close to 900 views and I'm like, wait, what? Which video got that? And it's the brand change video.
Yeah.
But we spoke about RRR.
And RRR is
yeah.
super popular, so...
Yeah. And there's a ton of Indian folks who are like leaving comments and stuff. And yeah, all of them are like Indian men. If you've subscribed, welcome.
Yeah. So, we are talking about Prey, because Prey was a great movie. And I was hearing about it, and also for me, I like the Predator franchise.
Okay.
Probably of the like horror monsters, I think I like Predator the most.
Horror monsters?
Yeah, like Alien, Jason, like thriller, monster movies where the monster chases you down and then like you have to
Okay.
they try to kill you.
So it's a horror movie?
Yeah, so it's technically a horror movie. Like,
okay.
It's a thriller. I mean, like Predator is the least horror, I feel, because there is a logic you can find behind the Predator. So Prey is part of the Predator franchise. It's like the first movie that doesn't have Predator in like the title. Actually.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I wonder why they called it Prey instead of Predator.
Well, Prey is the opposite of Predator.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. So for all you who do not know, Predator is a movie franchise that started back from either like the 80s, I think, the 70s or 80s. The first movie had Arnold Schwarzenegger dealing with the Predator, and it's almost like a boxing. It was like even like the footage, the posters back then were like setting this up more like a wrestling match than it was like a horror movie. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger fights the Predator,
with his bare fists.
Yeah. So a lot of the cool things. So the Predators are kind of like a hunting species. They go around, they hunt like really powerful, like they try to hunt the most powerful like predators that they can, right? So humans fall into that as well.
Yeah.
And they tend to ignore anything that isn't like a threat. So if you see that an animal is like an herbivore or something that's like that is more of like a prey creature, they won't hunt it.
I think they changed the title from Predator to Prey to show the perspective of the human.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been the perspective. The show has always been the perspective of the human. And there has been other Predator movies. There's Predator 2, where it goes from having one single predator to having like multiple predators.
Against one human?
Against like a group of humans. And then there's also there's the Alien versus Predator movies, which is they take the aliens from Alien, they take the Predator from Predator and have them fight. Or they end up in the same area, and because the alien is like a predatory creature, it's also a predatory alien, except it's more of like a primal instinct monster.
Instead of
like it hunts people because it's for like procreation reasons and stuff like that.
They're like the Gorn?
Yeah, kind of like the Gorn, actually. So more like mindless. You don't see the logic behind it, but it's like hunting it. But the Predator is actually like it thinks. It has like
it has
code.
technology.
It has technology. It has a code.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I was watching Prey, like the Predator, like the alien, it came in a ship that like has a cloaking technology.
Yeah, like it's the Predator gets dropped off by its homies. Homies like, okay, see you later.
Yeah, and I'm like, I guess this is like going on vacation on an island or whatever
It's
to
kind
go
of more.
hunting.
There's a couple things. Sometimes it's like for their own honor, you know, like for their own honor, for their stuff. What's really interesting is that they don't. This one didn't have one of the iconic pieces of technology it usually has, which is this one. It replaced its usual like before. Predators would just shoot laser guns. You know,
okay,
so
laser.
the thing, you know, the targeting would go, and then they would shoot you with the laser gun. So they replaced it with the bolts this time. I think the director went on an interview saying, "Yeah, the laser guns are too powerful.
Bullets?
A laser gun, it shoots a laser, like pew.
Oh, like the thing itself is.
Well, it target it. The red lights are the targeting thing, and the gun itself shoots a laser beam
Oh, okay. Instead of whatever
instead of
it
a
was
bolt,
shooting.
instead of like a bolt, like a crossbow bolt." You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah.
When I say bolt,
I think it's
a
an
crossbow
arrow
bolt.
that he was shooting.
Yeah, that's
or it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
don't know
I
if
mentioned.
we're
That's why I'm
it's
mentioning
female or
it.
male.
That's why I'm mentioning bolt to
Bolt.
refer to as
An
the
arrow?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's more like a crossbow, and you use bolt for a crossbow.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But so in this movie, also, I was commenting about like this is not fair. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so another thing we failed to mention is the time. Like,
Yeah, it
it
takes
was
place in
prior
the
to
1700s.
yeah 1719.
hmm
So it was before. Wait,
It was during. There were occupations of
Yeah.
Europeans. Colonists, Europeans. The French appear in this movie.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like in the movie, everyone's all the Comanche characters are speaking English, but for that I think that's more for the audience's benefit.
yeah, yeah.
Like
And, yeah.
in my mind, they're all speaking Comanche.
Yeah, so
Right.
Comanche is a Native American tribe.
Yeah. So the main character, she is someone from Comanche tribe, and she kind of has like this plot line of she wants to be a warrior. She wants to be a hunter, and everyone else is like, you can't be you can't be a hunter. You're a girl.
Yeah, and
You know?
her brother is like one of the stronger
Yeah.
hunters.
Yeah.
He leads the pack and stuff.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't start leading the pack, but they hunt a lion, and she gets knocked out. She does stab the lion. She does stab the lion and gets knocked out. But he kind of like takes out the lion. He takes out the lion.
He brings her back,
And he brings her
then
back.
he hunts the lion, and you find out that it was her idea that
Yeah,
was
I mean
able to
she.
get the lion.
Yeah, but like at the time, it kind of goes back and forth. But he's kind of like, well, I did it. But then later on, he's like, no, we did it. You know, and a lot of the tribe is like against her being a hunter, and they always like, I don't know, it gets kind of like almost annoying how these guys are like, oh, you can't be a hunter when like she still has like other like she's really good at what she does regardless,
Yeah, but they don't recognize that because
Mhm.
all they know is men hunt and women
Yeah.
gather.
Yeah.
And the other women also look at her weird, like, what is
Yeah.
she doing? She's holding
Mhm.
an bow and arrow.
Yeah, and then her brother though is pretty supportive of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gives her shots. He tells like the other hunters like, "Hey, let her come with us. She knows medicine, right? If like the dude's wounded, he can patch him up."
Yeah, and her skills with medicine also help her fight the alien.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of funny because so they go find this hunter who was attacked by the lion, and she gives him a like herb that makes his blood go cold, which which you find out later makes it so that the predator can't use its thermal vision to see it. Now there is some hand waving there. I don't know if there's like a plant that actually makes your blood go that cold.
Oh,
you know.
I mean, there might
But
be. It must be
yeah,
poisonous though.
yeah, but yeah, it's suspension of disbelief. But yeah, you can. It's still good. It's still like a nice setup, though. You know.
Perhaps not that fast.
Yeah, and it was really funny because they were all like really. It was cool seeing them like take care of like this injured like
Oh
huntsman.
yeah.
Well, like they just like took whatever's around and made like a little like stretcher for him, you know, and like carried him off. But when they're hunting the lion, it was really funny because there was that one guy who was like, he's like, a lion has like a bunch of like teeth sharp as arrowheads, and he's like giving her all this crap, but then he immediately gets taken out by the lion.
Yeah.
Like immediately. And no one brings that up ever again.
Yeah.
Like, did he die?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did he die? And then they're like, oh, like, it was totally dishonorable that, like, you got taken, that, like, your brother had to take you back. I was like, what about another dude who just died? Did he, like, not get taken back either? Did he get eaten alive then?
I mean, there's also the other guys who were trying to take her back by force. Like, they, like, beat her up.
Well, she beats them up pretty bad too. But then the predator comes by and then like they're like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, and then like it starts chopping them.
They get some good hits in though.
Yeah. I mean,
in the other Predator movies, like the other characters usually die without putting up a fight.
Oh really?
And so this Predator, like everyone that goes up against the Predator puts up a pretty good fight, all things considering. Like they get stabs in, they stab the leg.
There's only one guy who just like was killed while he was running. Remember, like in the field. Yeah, he should have maybe stayed and fought or something.
Yeah, but you know
it was scary though.
It is scary.
Oh my gosh.
They do this really great shot because the Predator's invisible, where they're running in like the grass fields, and you just see the outline of like the grass getting like pushed away as the Predator like hunts them down. But another thing too is that like there's some other things too where like you see the Predator fight like a wolf, and that's pretty cool. And then you see like the main character, she tries to hunt a bear, but then like the Predator finds the bear, and the Predator fights the bear. And the bear puts up a pretty good fight and gets some really good wounds in. But then, like, the Predator does the thing, like, you know, he attacks it and he, like, lifts it up in the air and the blood's, like, the blood and guts is going on and lets her see what this thing kind of looks like.
Yeah. You know, because the Predator, it has, like, all these futuristic technologies where you look at it and you're like, no one can stand a chance. Like the bombs that like.
I mean, that's that's actually like the point of the Predator is that like we can't fight it in a fair fight.
Oh, okay. So you have to be smart.
Yeah, it's all about you being like using your ingenuity and your wits to fight the Predator instead of like brute force. Because the Predator will win in a fair fight, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a threat, and that's what makes the Predator scary.
Oh, okay. Because there's near the end of the movie, she learns more and more about the Predator and its weakness, how it like shoots the laser and stuff like
works.
that. Yeah.
And all this time too, like the Predator is getting hurt throughout the series, like against the trappers, like it takes a bunch of hits from the trappers, like from the other Comanche warriors, like an individual gets some really good hits in, you know.
Her brother,
her brother.
Yeah, and it's cool how when they fight, they like scream and like it helps them
culture.
get the adrenaline.
Yeah, it's kind of in their culture. It's kind of like one, it's like their adrenaline, also like an intimidation sort of thing too. Right. Yeah,
and he brings and the French. Okay, so the French.
There were so many French trappers. I was like, there were like 40 of them.
Yeah, because like the buffalo, they like skinned them.
Yeah, they skinned the buffalo.
They just like left the buffalo.
Meat. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's kind of like the thing that they did was just they would overhunt the buffalo. And just leave the like they don't even use all of it. And in the Comanche tribe, it's kind of like when they hunt buffalo, they have the intention of using all of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty. Like when I saw that, I was like, wait, did the predator do that?
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but then I saw there was the bear trap.
Yeah.
And then her dog
got stuck in the bear trap.
Yeah.
And she got stuck in the bear trap too.
And I'm like, wait, are we... It was confusing for a while because...
Yeah, but then it made sense once you saw it.
Yeah, when I saw the French dude, so I was like, oh, okay.
They try to get her to, like, help them, like, do the trap, and they go and, like, they try to use them as bait, like her and her brother as bait.
Yeah.
And it goes very badly for them. It's just kind of, like, cool because you get to see, like, a lot of the, like, predator tricks. Like all their weapons,
yeah.
like the nets that the net that just like goes, it like tightens around you and it like tightens until you're just a smoothie.
Yeah.
Right? It goes through wood and stuff. And
it minces you.
They didn't even show that, right? They didn't show that part, but they showed underneath that part and you're like, oh, that's what happened. You know?
Oh, like you saw all the meat drop. Like,
yeah, you just saw stuff drop.
The minced meat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
And then, you saw the predator bring out the shield, which is also like almost a blade, pretty much.
Oh yeah. It's a blade and a shield.
Yeah, in one go.
Yeah. And also it has its face mask is also bulletproof.
Yeah.
So it also kills others by just like being like okay, just like
target and
bounce.
Then shoot. Yeah.
And it has like, I think it's bombs. Like they like spin and like.
Yeah. So in this one, it's really interesting because the Predator's tech is lower tech compared to the previous Predator movies.
Really?
Yeah. In the previous Predator movies, they look like they're in like metal suits and stuff like that. And it's definitely more futuristic looking.
Oh, okay.
And like they have laser guns in the Predator movies that take place in modern times.
Oh, okay. But now it's like 300 years prior to modern
so it's kind of cool
okay.
seeing like, oh yeah, their tech also like changed through the times too, you know?
Oh, okay. So is the Predator race, like the alien race, one or are they different? Like, do they all look the same?
They all look. Predator? They look pretty similar.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
it's the same alien.
They look pretty similar, all things considered. So they're all like the same. Like that's like the Predator. Like
they have like dreadlocks.
They all have dreadlocks.
Oh, really? Okay.
They all got dreadlocks.
Okay, so it's considered. It's pretty similar to the Klingons.
Yeah. They're very Klingon-like. Considering there's few like Star Trek episodes where they're like that's just a this alien species is just a predator that can talk.
Yeah.
You know. And it's just a interesting thing because I think that predators are very interesting because you can kind of tell that they have like a code of honor. Like in the previous movies, if you take out a predator, its friends are like in the area, but they don't hunt you down after you take out one of them.
Oh, okay.
They're like, oh, you took out one of our friends, you deserve to live.
Oh.
That's kind of like one of the things that they do. Like, they're like, oh, you took one of us. They have this honor system. Where like they understand like, oh, you beat us, okay, we'll leave you alone. Oh, another actually interesting reference that I saw. There's a part where the main character learns how to use a gun, a pistol. That pistol actually appears in Predator 2.
Oh.
So it's a reference. Because like he uses in the Predator 2, you see that gun on like a Predator ship.
Oh, is that why when the chief of the tribe he like looked at it and I'm like, why are they showing us this?
This
I
gun,
feel like
they're
it's
focusing on the gun, but I found out later on that this gun appeared in Predator 2.
Oh,
so it's like a reference to one of the previous movies.
So it survived like hundreds of years to the future.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you need to fill it with powder.
Yeah.
It's still powerful enough to take out predators.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's the soul of the gun that matters. I don't know. But yeah, it's really interesting, and yeah, she sets up a trap too. Like she uses like a bog as well, like quicksand. Not quicksand, but like a bog.
Because she almost.
She almost falls in it. And she uses her own ingenuity to get out.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool thing to like see her take it out, because like a lot of the previous Predator protagonists are like, you know, like very manly men, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
very manly men taking out the Predator.
Yeah.
And in this case, you kind of have to like, she's not as physically like muscular as like, you know, her brother, you know, like her brother, stuff like that, you know, like direct warrior type. And we see a lot of the movie her failing, right?
Yeah.
Most of the movie is her failing
and running away,
right?
and being scared.
And the Predator even like ignores her throughout a lot of the movie because it doesn't see her as a threat. But and I think it's just really smart how she kind of like uses her like built up knowledge from these failures. You see her learn from her failures.
Yeah.
You see her kind of like, you know, putting things together.
Yeah.
And she gets like the biggest win out of like everyone else.
I think the thing that really helped her go from being scared to fighting back is seeing her brother die.
Yeah.
I think that's what she was like, okay, I'm gonna kill all these French dudes.
Yeah.
Or actually, she killed them before
her brother died.
Yeah, but she was like, you mentioned how
you know what's really funny? You know, also was really funny is that like, well, spoiler, the dog lives.
Oh yeah,
I thought the movie
really?
The dog was gonna die.
Okay,
At,
yeah, me too. I was
points.
like, wait.
But like, apparently, like, here's the thing: people are really like people get upset.
Oh, okay.
When dogs dies.
Okay.
Like, and there was too much character for this dog. There was too much like, you know, emotional bonding with this dog. So like, people would be more okay seeing like the brother die than the dog die. If the brother lived and the dog died, people would be more upset.
Okay, so the movie wouldn't have done as well.
Yeah, the movie wouldn't have done as well if the dog had died.
Oh.
I'm not joking, by the way. This is 100% the thing. Like, there's a whole website dedicated to does the dog die?
Oh wow.
You know, so lists out like all the movies where like the dogs die, just so people like, oh, okay, don't watch it.
Interesting. Let's see. So when she fights the alien, before she fought the alien, she sees one of the French dudes that somehow survived all that thing.
He lost a leg though. And
No, she cut it.
Okay.
She used
the leader, the trapper leader. Yeah, she cut the leg. He was the leader of the trappers. He was the one who was like telling her.
He was the one who cut her brother.
Yeah, he was the one who cut her brother, and so like. You see her like take the gun out. She's about to shoot him, and she's like, "Wait, hold on." She like knocks him out instead.
And she uses his leg.
Yeah, she cut off his leg.
Blood.
Yeah, she cut off his legs, and there's like this scene where you see the rats like start biting at it.
Yeah.
And he's like freaks out. He like grabs the gun. He's like, "Oh, you stupid idiot!" And she's like, "It's not loaded, you idiot."
Yeah, and she's speaking in Comanche, and he's speaking in
French, yeah. And then like he tries to shoot her, but then he was bait for the Predator because the Predator sees a gun and says, "Threat and we'll kill you."
And she ate the
plant that lowers her body temperature, so she's hidden, right?
And she's like speaking the whole time. She's like, "I will use you," and she has a speech about like, my strength is that others see me as weak.
Yeah.
And she uses
and then
others' perception.
There's also a thing of when they do the hunt is like it ends for you now, right?
Yeah, that's what her brother tells her.
And her brother says that about himself too. He's like, my time is over.
Oh yeah.
Right? This predator has hunted me.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's a term for. There's like a rite of passage for the hunters.
Yeah.
Where
they have to hunt a predator.
You only hunt what hunts you.
Yeah, you hunt another natural like hunt, like a lion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something that hunts other creatures.
And if you hunt the hunter, then that's when you get to be the war chief.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, this is your I forgot the term he used, but she's like, oh, okay. And then she just like goes for it and hunts the alien down.
Yeah.
Traps it, uses its own technology against it.
Yeah, so there's a thing where she traps it in the bog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Though, like, it kind of raises
Yeah,
up.
it
You
goes
know,
up
like,
and
it's
I'm like,
really
oh my
cool.
God.
It's so cool, but in real life, like, that thing would, if you're bigger, you're gonna sink hardcore.
But maybe it has technology
Yeah.
to like.
I
it.
think a theory that I heard was like, the thing's just super big. It just hit the bottom. It just stands up.
Oh, okay.
Because this thing's like size like 8 feet tall or like 10 feet tall or something like that. Like she takes she like measures like its footprint with the sticks. Like this thing's huge, you know. So the predator is like really big, but then like she had stolen the helmet. And then use the helmet to like target the predator when it stands up, so it's like a multi-layered trap, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there were so many different steps in the whole thing.
But you saw all the steps being like pulled off.
Yeah. She weakens it.
Yeah, she weakens it. She
Yeah.
she shoots it in the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
It's still alive, hunts her down, and she like jumps on it and takes her like axe and just like goes at it on him, you know?
Yeah.
And then the dog gets the axe too, and like, you know, after she loses it, the dog like grabs the axe and gives it back to her, and she like takes out like its legs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like because like the predator is being injured because like even against the Frenchmen. And even though it took them all out, like there was a scene afterwards where it's like healing its wounds, right?
Oh yeah, it's using like a
medicine, like a
Star Trek thingy.
Yeah, to like heal it, but like it's like screaming. You hear it scream in pain too, like fixing it out, like you know.
Oh, okay.
And so all this stuff, all these battles, like are wearing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and also another thing, with her and her mom, you see her mom is like, oh, you know about medicine. She like the mom didn't know about like that, so the mom is also a medicine woman, and then she's like, the most important thing is to survive.
Yeah.
And
that's for her. She survived through the end and like fought against the predator. And there is like a post-credit scene. Or it's not really a post-credit scene, it's just part of the credits where you see like the Comanche like depiction, you know, like it's like an art
cave
depiction.
painting.
Not really cave painting, but
It looks like cave painting.
yeah, it looks like cave paintings. But it's like, you know, it depicts like all the events, and then at the end it's just like you see all these images like from like
alien
these ships coming down going
Yeah.
towards them. So it's like, oh, is there gonna be a season 2? Is there gonna be a second movie?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think they were said that a second movie would be coming if like this movie did well.
Oh, okay.
And it's on Hulu. So if it was on Netflix, this would immediately have been like a top Netflix thing. I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
like this movie was really good.
Okay.
But yeah, like like normally there's not much on Hulu. But this was really good.
Yeah. It was really good. Yeah, I liked the part that it's a woman or like a girl who does that instead of a guy.
Yeah, and like this is your first like foray into like the Predator franchise. And I think you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it even though you weren't familiar with like Predator that much.
Yeah.
Either. I like filled in some blanks for you, but yeah, like overall, like it's easy to piece together. You see a big alien guy who hunts people, and a lot of it was shown seeing like seeing a lot of downtime with the Predator too, right? So the predators do collect skulls, and it's really cool seeing it like spray the wolf head with the spray to like bring it down to the skull form. It's like our first audience's first time seeing something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then you see kind of like a lot of interesting moments. Like you see a rat and the snake hunt the rat, but the snake bumps into the predator.
Yeah.
And like the predator's like, oh god dang, it just like kills it. Like, get out of here.
Oh, I think it was hunting the snake. Like it's always hunting what is a hunter.
Yeah.
It like looks at, oh, okay, this is the prey, this is the predator. Let me kill the predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like it's so bloody though. Like
Yeah.
they show the Kamachi boy's head like
Chunk.
like he took it like with the spinal cord, and I'm like, ugh. At least he did it. It didn't show
It
like
wasn't-
the thingy.
it wasn't-
for human
yeah.
skulls.
Yeah, it wasn't. I can imagine it being even more bloodier, but I feel like they cut away for certain parts, like at good times, you know, like the net thing, for example.
Oh.
Like you don't see the guy gets like you see the blood, the aftermath, but you don't see it actually happen.
You see it.
No, it like cuts down below. You see like you just see the wood underneath the guy.
Oh, okay. You don't see the person.
You don't see the person get that. You just see like you see the wood get like crunched up, but like your mind pieces everything together.
Oh, okay.
Which arguably can be more gruesome.
Mm.
You know, that's a lot like a whole thing about these a lot of older horror movies is actually more scarier to a lot of people, is because they didn't use like CGI for like all the kills and stuff like that. They would use lighting to like hide the kills, but you use your imagination to imagine what's happening.
So that's also something they used in Strange New Worlds for the Gorn episodes.
Yeah.
You
A lot of
mentioned
practical
something.
effect. Yeah, a lot of practical effects.
Or in the Ready Room, they talked about that.
Yeah.
The importance of
Lighting.
using the audience's imagination.
To like do these, because there's quite a few horror movies, like I think the ones made in like the 2000s, where they're like, oh, we have CGI, we'll use CGI to show these kills, and they just like look kind of cheesy.
Oh, the monsters?
Well, not the monsters, but like the deaths, right? Like they show like, oh, look at all this blood coming out. It's like CG. They use CGI effects to like do the blood and the gore and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But then it just doesn't look as good compared to like, you know, and same thing with the monsters too, using CGI for monsters, where like lighting and like a physical thing is like much more frightening.
Yeah, that's true.
Because your brain takes an effect. I think I should make you watch Alien. Because Alien has has the main character is a woman. And
yeah,
it's like
because
another,
like Janeway had an
episode similar to that, you know. And Ripley is like iconic for being like strong female protagonist.
I don't know if I'll enjoy it though, because remember the Alien show I started watching?
Yeah.
And it kind of started seeming like, you know, like the whatever it was like taking humans one by one, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
So like the jumpy sort of thing.
I think Alien does a better job because it's the original, and like it still holds up to this day as a really good film.
Oh.
And I don't think it doesn't do the jump scare as much. Rather, it does this like slow scare of like the atmosphere it creates is more scary.
Interesting. And I guess it's important to watch stuff like that inspired other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's very important to like go back and see like the original, like, you know, like the older films that like help inspire some of these things. You know.
Yeah, they build off of certain movies that get really popular, and then other franchises try to copy it. Yeah,
and copy is like definitely the big word too. You're like, oh yeah, they copied it. Oh, this is from Alien.
Yeah.
Except you're like thinking, oh, Alien did it better.
Do you know when it was?
I think 70s as well.
70s.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's a good spot to end it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this, and leave a comment in the comments section.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.